They say Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire, but what if I told you his philosophy could rule your bank account too? Because these 5 Stoic money rules didn't just build my wealth, they built my mind. And as Marcus said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Now let me show you how that power turned into profit. Rule 1. Control what you can. Ignore the rest. Stoicism's core principle is simple yet revolutionary. Focus only on what is within your control. In money management, this wisdom is often ignored. We obsess over market predictions, economic downturns, political changes, or even the Federal Reserve's interest rates, all things beyond our influence. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." In practical terms, this means creating a wealth strategy immune to external chaos. Here's how you apply this. Set a consistent savings rate. Don't wait for a better job, a booming market, or lower taxes. Start saving now. Set a fixed percentage of every income source, say 20 to 30%. Automate it. When it's automatic, discipline is effortless. Diversify intelligently. You can't predict which investment will outperform, but you can diversify across assets. Stocks, bonds, real estate, index funds. Asset allocation is one control lever that shields you from total loss. Rebalance quarterly. Markets will swing. Instead of predicting, rebalance your portfolio every quarter. This ensures you're buying low and selling high by default. Skill up continuously. Invest in yourself. Courses on financial literacy, stock analysis, real estate evaluation, even understanding tax strategies. Skill accumulation is fully within your control. Establish a safety net. Create an emergency fund that covers 6 to 12 months of living expenses. This isn't just money, it's peace of mind. Having this buffer prevents you from making emotionally driven financial decisions when life throws a curveball. Practice the premeditation of evils. This is a Stoic technique where you imagine worst-case financial scenarios, job loss, market crash, health crisis, and plan what you do in those cases. This practice removes the fear of uncertainty and keeps your strategy grounded. Practical exercise. Control audit. Each Sunday, list 5 financial aspects you can control this week. For each, write one action. For example, increase savings rate by 2%, cancel unnecessary subscriptions, study one new financial concept, review investment performance, connect with a financial mentor. Real-life reflection. I once obsessed over stock market news daily, reacting to every dip and rally. It was exhausting and unproductive. The day I committed to focusing solely on my savings rate, consistent investments, and periodic reviews, my stress plummeted, and ironically, my returns improved. Quote to remember, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." Seneca. Don't let imagined fears about markets derail your strategy. Control your system, and the system will reward you. Rule 2, desire less, grow more. Seneca, one of the great Stoics, famously said, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." This principle changed my financial life forever. It revealed a hidden truth. Wealth isn't about how much you make. It's about how little you need to be content. In today's consumer-driven world, everywhere you turn, there's a new gadget, a flashier car, a bigger house, an exotic vacation. And every advertisement whispers, you need this to be happy. But do you really? Let me tell you a story. At age 30, after a big promotion, I upgraded my apartment, bought a new car, and started eating at high-end restaurants. My expenses rose just as fast as my income. A year later, I had no more savings than before. I was running in place, richer on paper but still financially vulnerable. Then I reread Seneca. And it hit me. I was feeding desires, not building wealth. So I changed everything. I designed what I call a lifestyle freeze. The lifestyle freeze, I decided that no matter how much my income grew, my lifestyle would stay fixed for 5 years. I capped my expenses, same car, same apartment, same entertainment budget. Every extra dollar went into investments. By year 3, my net worth had quadrupled. The power of minimalism. Minimalism isn't about living with nothing. It's about living with what matters. I ask myself with every purchase, will this item bring lasting value? Is this to fulfill a need or impress someone? What will this cost me an opportunity? I started seeing every dollar spent as $5 less in the future thanks to compound growth. That mental shift rewired my desires. Practical habits to reduce desires. 30-day rule. Any non-essential purchase waits 30 days. 90% of the time, I don't want it after a month. Gratitude journaling. Every night, I write 3 non-material things I'm grateful for: relationships, health, knowledge. Net worth tracking. Watching my assets grow became more satisfying than any shiny object. Library over mall. I replaced weekend shopping with reading about wealth, philosophy, or biographies of financially disciplined people. The psychology of enough. Most millionaires live below their means. A famous study by Thomas J. Stanley in The Millionaire Next Door showed that most wealthy people drive used cars and live in modest homes. They understood the power of enough. Marcus Aurelius said, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself in your way of thinking." From desire to growth. Once I mastered my desires, my investments began to flourish. I invested in dividend stocks that paid me passive income. I bought rental properties creating cash flow. I built side businesses without the pressure of needing instant rewards. By desiring less, I freed up mental space and capital to grow more. Practical Stoic challenge. This week, perform a desire audit. Write down 10 things you think you want. For each, ask, why do I want this? What problem does it solve? Will it still matter in 6 months? Cross out the ones that are ego-driven or impulsive. Final thought on Rule 2. Remember, if you wish to be rich, do not add to your money, but subtract from your desire. Epicurus, a Stoic contemporary. In controlling desire, you've already mastered the first pillar of wealth. When you want less, your wealth multiplies without chasing more. Rule 3, Memento Mori, invest like you'll die tomorrow. Imagine waking up every morning with one certainty: today could be your last. Sounds grim, doesn't it? But to the Stoics, this was the greatest motivator to live fully, wisely, and courageously. Memento Mori, Latin for remember you must die. It's not about fear, but about focus. Marcus Aurelius himself reflected daily. You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. When I internalized this, my approach to money transformed. I stopped delaying investments. I stopped waiting for the right time. I started investing like I might not wake up tomorrow, ensuring that every dollar I had was either growing or serving a meaningful purpose. How Memento Mori shaped my financial strategy. No more someday syndrome. For years, I told myself, I'll invest when I have more savings. But there's no promise of later. So I began small. Just $200 a month into index funds. That habit compounded into 6 figures in a decade. Cash flow over speculation. I prioritized investments that would continue to pay me, even if I wasn't around to see them mature. Dividend stocks, real estate, peer-to-peer lending platforms. Passive income is wealth that survives you. Legacy planning. I created a clear will, mapped out my assets, and wrote instructions for my loved ones. My family won't just inherit money. They'll inherit a system. Invest in health. What's the use of wealth if you're not alive to enjoy it? I invested in fitness, nutrition, regular medical checkups, because health is the original wealth. The Memento Mori investment plan, a practical guide. Step 1, list all your current investments. Ask, if I die tomorrow, will my family understand this? If not, simplify. Step 2, establish automatic investments, stocks, ETFs, retirement funds. Don't delay. Step 3, document everything. Passwords, accounts, plans. Store it securely but accessibly. Step 4, spend on experiences. Money is fuel for memories. Don't hoard for an uncertain future. Step 5, health budget. Allocate a percentage of your income to health. Treat it as non-negotiable. Stoic reflection. Exercise. Each morning ask yourself, if today were my last, what financial decision would I regret not making? Then act on it. A story of urgency. I once met an investor who had millions but was always waiting for the perfect market condition to deploy them. He passed away unexpectedly. Much of his wealth locked in accounts his family struggled to access. That won't be me, and it shouldn't be you. Marcus Aurelius on urgency. Don't act as if you have 10,000 years to throw away. Death stands at your elbow. While you live, while it is in your power, be good. Substitute be good with build wealth wisely, and you have the blueprint. The Memento Mori checklist for wealth. Are my investments automated and diversified? Have I created a will or estate plan? Can my family access my financial information? Am I healthy enough to enjoy my wealth? Am I spending on things that create memories, not just stuff? Final thought on Rule 3. When you invest like you'll die tomorrow, every dollar gets a purpose. There's no room for fear, no time for greed, only clarity. Let each thing you would do, say, or intend be like that of a dying person. Marcus Aurelius. Wealth isn't just what you accumulate, it's what you prepare to leave behind. Whether it's money, lessons, or love. Rule 4. Amor fati. Love the financial obstacles. Amor fati, a phrase that means love of fate. To the Stoics, it's more than acceptance. It's embracing every challenge as necessary fuel for growth. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." We often view financial setbacks as curses, a failed investment, a business that collapses, a market crash that wipes out years of savings. But through the Stoic lens, these are gifts wrapped in adversity. My $50,000 lesson years ago, I invested $50,000 into a startup that promised disruptive innovation. 6 months later, it folded. I was devastated. That was my safety net, gone. But after the pain subsided, I did something different. I performed a failure post-mortem. 1. What assumptions did I make? 2. What due diligence did I skip? 3. What warning signs did I ignore? 4. How can I build safeguards moving forward? That process led to the creation of my personal investment checklist, a tool that has since protected me in every financial decision. The investment checklist I built. Is the business generating real revenue? Do I understand the product service deeply? Is the leadership credible and experienced? What's the worst case scenario? Can I survive financially if this investment goes to zero? By loving the obstacle, I became wiser, sharper, and ultimately wealthier. Practical application of Amor, Fati, and money management. 1. Journal every failure. Instead of bearing a loss, document it. Write what happened, why, and how you'll adapt. 2. Build risk tolerance. Allocate only what you can afford to lose into high-risk ventures. This guards your mental peace. 3. Create an anti-fragile strategy. Inspired by Nassim Taleb, this means creating financial systems that gain from disorder. Diversify investments, have multiple income streams, and never rely on one market. 4. Celebrate small setbacks. When a minor financial loss occurs, I treat it like a paid lesson. I literally write it down in my wealth wisdom log. The Stoic flip, turning loss into leverage. When markets crash, most panic. A Stoic sees opportunity. During the 2020 crash, while many sold in fear, I applied Amorati. I saw it as the sale of the century and bought quality stocks at discounts. As Marcus said, the universe is change. Our life is what our thoughts make it. If you think like a victim, every loss will drain you. But if you think like a Stoic, every loss is a blueprint for greater wealth. Real-world example, J.K. Rowling was rejected 12 times before Harry Potter was published. Elon Musk's SpaceX failed multiple launches before success. Financially and mentally, these leaders embodied Amorati. They loved the process, not just the outcome. Daily Amorati practice. Every evening ask, what obstacle did I face today, and what can I learn from it financially and mentally? Over time, this habit transforms pain into profit. The Wealth Resilience Formula. 1. Expect obstacles. They are part of the journey. 2. Welcome losses as teachers. 3. Build systems that adapt and strengthen through failure. Quote to remember, fire tests gold, suffering tests brave men. Seneca. Final thought on Rule 4. Amor Fati is your shield and sword in the financial battlefield. When you love the obstacle, you never lose. You either win or you learn. Next time a financial storm hits, don't just weather it, welcome it. That's the Stoic path to unshakable wealth. What stands in the way becomes the way. Marcus Aurelius. Rule 5. The Inner Citadel. Build unbreakable wealth. Within, Marcus Aurelius wrote, dig within. Within is the wellspring of good, and it is always ready to bubble up if you just dig. The Stoics believe that the only true fortress is the one built within. This fortress, or as Marcus called it, the inner citadel, is your mental stronghold. In wealth building, the market can crash, your investments can fail, and external circumstances can shift overnight. But if your mind is fortified, nothing can truly defeat you. When I first started investing, I was driven by numbers, trends, and projections. But it wasn't until I built my inner citadel that I developed the resilience to endure downturns and remain focused on the long term. What is the inner citadel in wealth? It is the unshakable mindset that guides your financial decisions, unaffected by greed during bull markets, unfazed by fear during recessions, disciplined in strategy regardless of noise, building the inner citadel, step by step. 1. Morning meditation. Every day, start with a 10-minute meditation focused on the Stoic principle. What is in my control today? This centers your mind on effort, not outcome. 2. Financial journaling. Each week, write down your investment decisions, why you made them, what emotional triggers were present, what lessons you learned. Over time, this practice builds awareness of your patterns, strengths, and vulnerabilities. 3. Reading the classics. Study the Stoics, Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, Epictetus. Then apply their teachings to your financial life. Seneca said, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." This constant reminder helps you stay grounded amidst financial ambitions. The monthly review. At the end of each month, conduct a deep reflection. How did my investments perform? Where did emotions dictate my decisions? What external events tested my discipline? What can I improve next month? The psychological returns of the inner citadel. When your mind is fortified, market crashes feel like temporary weather, not the end of the world. Peer pressure to chase trends disappears. You experience serenity even when wealth fluctuates. A personal story of fortitude. During the 2008 financial crisis, I watched colleagues panic sell their portfolios. I was tempted too. My losses were mounting, but I returned to my inner Citadel practices. Meditation, journaling, reading Meditations by Marcus. Instead of selling, I stayed. I bought more. By 2015, those investments had doubled. Stoic quotes to strengthen your mind. The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. Marcus Aurelius. Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. Epictetus. Daily inner Citadel routine. Morning, meditation on control. During the day, one act of financial discipline, e.g. tracking expenses. Evening, reflect on emotions that surfaced and how you responded. The Citadel visualization, close your eyes and picture a grand stone fortress. Every smart decision, every journal entry, every disciplined choice is another stone in that wall. Over time, no storm, economic or emotional, can tear it down. Final reflection on Rule 5. True wealth is not the number in your bank account. It's the mind that creates, manages, and sustains it. Your inner citadel is the ultimate asset. Just keep in mind, the more we value things outside our control, the less control we have. Epictetus. Build your mind, and wealth will follow.